Hello, a warm welcome to the program. Glad you could join us on what promised to be an exciting time. And this time around, we'll be featuring the president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, a well sought out president. I mean, a lot of pundits have been trying to get this opportunity, but it's a huge privilege for me to be talking to the president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation after the D-Tigress performed wonderfully, fantastically well at the last Olympics in Paris, where they got to the quarterfinals. The very first African team to get to the quarterfinal stage of an Olympic event, whether male or female. Of course, also, just to remind you, they won the AfroBasket 4 times in a row with a new coach that nobody actually gave them a chance. Right here with me is President Amadou Musa Kida. Glad you could join us on the program today.
Thank you very much. It's my honor to be on your program.
It's a remarkable feat that no African team has actually achieved, but they lost to an American side at the quarterfinals. But how was the experience? How did the ladies play to get to the quarterfinal stage, first of all?
This time around, though, our girls consistently, have been attending continental tournaments. We have made sure that we provided the right environment. Very difficult, again, the funding requirements for the national team have always been a challenge. But this time around, we decided, well, we'll go an extra mile to make sure that the girls that we have coming to play for us for the Olympics would have at least a lot of friendlies before the Olympics. All that to remove the kinks and then fine-tune themselves in terms of teamwork and flow. And that is what has helped us. So you would have seen when we played Australia. Again,
a third-ranked team in the world.
Australia is the third-ranked team in the world. And again, when we played Canada, Canada is fifth or sixth in the world.
Quite a difficult group.
It is. It was actually one of the most difficult groups, and we were not expected to survive at all. But again, I always say my girls will always shock the world. It reminds me of 2018 when our girls went to the FIBA World Cup, Women's FIBA World Cup in Tenerife. I told you they were going to shock the world, and we also the same way went to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, we were also removed by the same American team.
We know that after the AfroBasket, some of the ladies dropped. A lot of people were complaining. Maybe the likes of Sarah Ogoke was not in the team, and it felt like this team kind of depleted. Now, you always prove to us that Nigeria has numerous abundance of talent in female basketball, male basketball. For you to get this set of girls together, because we're seeing some of them for the first time at the national level, the likes of Musa even shown like a bright stars. How did you get this set of players together? I mean, when we thought that we've missed our best set of players, but we still produce another top-class team.
Believe that Nigeria and Nigerian basketball should always put its best leg forward first.
Okay.
We always, within a context, at any moment in time, we want to make sure Nigeria presents its best players, the best technical bench that it can have, so that we can perform the best we can at any time. I will tell you that between the last 3-4 years, Nigeria has gone through, especially for the women, more than 45 players. We have held camps in very many places. There could be open camps or closed camps. But the one for the Olympics was
we're going to come to that later.
Oh, okay, I see. But for us is to make sure that we make the coach responsible, along with the general manager who ensures the logistics or the interface that we have, all in a way to make sure that the coach has the free hand to choose the best that he or she can. And the responsibility is that we have tried to isolate other board members from influencing. Board members can suggest, they can bring in names just like anybody else, but the ultimate selection of the team is in the hands of the coach and the technical crew.
It was an exposure for the local-based players to mix up with the foreign-based players. So what gave you the, impetus, the belief that this open camp was the right step? And of course, the results speaks for itself.
I remember when we did and asked to do an open camp for the AfroBasket in Kigali. I knew there was a lot of noise around on whether it was or not.
Yeah.
But I want to remind us that if you remember, we went through an upheaval with, you know, when government took out the ladies' team from participation in the Women's
Yes.
World Cup. There was more or less a 2-year hiatus when we didn't play. We didn't do anything. And within those 2 years, there are a lot of, you know, players that we got to know
Okay.
that were good. Some of those players also, we did understand that either they had retired or that they were injured, as a matter of fact. And the coach really didn't want to restrict herself to a very restrict list.
Okay.
So yeah, we actually planned those open camps in Abuja, in Lagos, and
Yeah.
also in the U.S.
Oh yes.
And then we asked everybody to come and try out.
Yeah.
Yes, there are some players who 2 years before then were on the national team,
Yeah.
but we could not vouch for their form.
Yeah.
So the coach actually wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that she had and she could see every player, you know, at the same level.
Okay.
You know, in order to be able to assess. And I'm happy she did that.
Yeah.
Because what that meant was that the players, the old players, also had to make a commitment, a patriotic
Yeah, that's true.
a commitment to actually volunteer and come for the open camps. Those ones that came and they made the team. Some that didn't come, I know, felt you know, that they should have been specially invited.
Yeah.
Well, okay, special. Everybody is special, but you have to want to play for the country.
It's true.
And in playing for the country, I mean, just like you go for practice at your own, not your own cost, but at your own time, you could make time to go out for an open camp. And
Yeah.
if truly you're good,
Yeah.
you should not be afraid of open camp.
Well, so going back now to the technical bench, talking about Reina Wakama, she actually was named the best coach from the Olympic Games. So kudos to her, and kudos for you to pick Reina Wakama as the coach. I think she's 32 years of age.
She's the youngest
Yes, youngest coach.
ever.
Yes.
Rina is the best coach in the women's world. If you say Olympics, it's for the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
And then she's ranked as the best coach, you know, of an Olympic women's
Yeah.
basketball tournament.
Okay.
And she, for me, okay,
Absolutely.
So I mean, I need to throw those flowers. But
Okay.
myself as president and also the NBB were extremely proud of her.
Okay.
We're extremely proud of her dedication. We're extremely proud of her commitment, her patience, and also her sternness in trying to get the right thing done.
Okay.
It's not been easy, Coach Reina Wakama. We know that you did sacrifice a
Wow.
lot. We know that you had to tolerate and understand the Nigerian context of things.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because you are a Nigerian. You played in First Bank in
Yeah.
the late 80s and all that, so you understand the Nigerian context.
Yeah.
And you can see. I mean, she brought energy to the team.
Yeah.
Because of her, even when the team is trailing, you know, she's there, you know, with the same type of energy as if they are leading with 20 points. You know.
Yeah.
So I think she actually gave these girls a lot of confidence. She showed leadership. And I'm extremely proud of Rina.
Why did you believe in her in the first place? When a lot of Nigerians felt she was inexperienced, felt she was too young, felt she has not really been part of the national team set up for a long time. But you believed in her. What did you see in her that you knew that she could actually take the D Tigress as far as quarterfinals?
I followed her progression in what she was doing in terms of coaching.
Okay.
The high school that she was linked to. And then her comportment and actually the way that she was perceived by even the coaches in the U.S.
Okay.
I know that she was seen as being extremely young,
Yeah.
but what I saw was completely, I relied on what I saw as her competence, as her drive, and mostly her sense of sacrifice, you know, to understand our context. Having been in Nigeria, played on teams in Nigeria, and understanding the context also of how Nigeria works. So that was not evident to a lot of people. And I must say, as president, I believe in the youth. I believe about time, you young people come and take these roles. We have shown with Rina as an example, a 32-year-old lady can come and dominate coaching and be named the best in the world. So if a 32-year-old can do it, we 50, 60-year-old, I think we should just draw back and allow these guys to do it because they're really the future.
Yeah.
You can imagine Rina is just starting her journey, but she's starting on a very high pedestal. And we should be proud of that. What I'm expecting Rina to do is to be able to infuse or impact other coaches, especially in Nigeria. And that's part of our next plans with Rina, for her to come to Nigeria, for her to be able to hold coaching clinics, in a way that all these, our girl child, our ladies, or even the men, or the gentlemen, by the way, we can learn from her in a way that we all collectively improve.
What are the lessons going forward in terms of how maybe the basketball team was financed, and in terms of also the role the ministry should play in terms of preparing our national teams going forward? Because, want a better performance, and unfortunately, the basketball team, the D Tigers, was the best performing team when it comes to Nigeria at the Olympic Games. What example can the D Tigers show to other sports from preparing for the Olympics?
Preparation, I don't think we prepared as a contingent, right? But even in basketball, we didn't prepare long enough. It's obvious. We also know that the funding for the national teams, which is a preserve of the government through the Federal Ministry of Sports Development, came late. We also know that, look, we needed to be in an environment where the game is best played. For basketball, we needed to be in the US to do a good camp. And that way we would have been able to play a lot more matches, would have had better facilities, would have been able to play, and the girls get used to game situations much earlier. And then the camp would not have been 1 month or something thereabout type, because you're going to play people who have prepared for 4 years, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're playing people who have prepared for 4 years and then you camp for only 1 or 2 months, the advantage that they have already is up on you. If you look at our match with the USA, that is an example. They have been together for God knows how long. I know that they started bringing themselves together since December, trying to find out or trying to get their 12 players. Having said that, though, I have always said it. Everything is in the preparation. We have three ingredients, to win. Number one is preparation. We need to prepare very well. And the second one is preparation.
Okay.
And the third one is preparation.
Okay.
So if you prepare well enough, the Nigerian spirit in our athletes will definitely win the world. My focus is progress. How do we improve competence, and then bringing up the youth to take over a lot of these things we are doing, so that we old men can go and rest sometimes.
Live and direct from the president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, Amadu Musa Kida, taking us through the success story of the D Tigers, and of course the impact of the teams, how it's going to progress and going forward. Well, thank you for being on our program today, Amadu Musa Kida.
It's been my pleasure.
You're still watching Sports Reel on the network service of the NTA. The program continues after this time out. Stay tuned.